We begin with developments from the domestic aviation sector, and Africa World Airlines has started flying some passengers that were stranded at the Tamale and Accra airports since yesterday. But there are still many more who are yet to be airlifted to their destination. Now, Africa World Airlines is blaming its inability to honor flight schedules to some technicalities. Sheila Tamaklo has the latest from the Kotoka International Airport.
Currently here at the Kotoka International Airport, following up on reports of passengers going wild yesterday when their Tamale-bound flight was cancelled. Now, according to the operators of the airline, Africa World Air, this was due to some technical challenges that they were having with their jet, so they couldn't fly and put passengers at risk yesterday. However, they were assuring that today they are going to do everything to get the passengers safely to their destinations, that is Tamale, today. But coming here, I still see that there are a few passengers around. So I'm joined by two of them in the person of Mohammed and Mr. Zafara. They're going to give us an update as to how they are being treated today. What essentially happened here?
Well, we were not allowed to speak to management. So we went around the counter where they are checking in to tell them to stop working. If they didn't attend to us, they were not going to attend to anybody, because we didn't see the reason why Kumasi was going, Takoradi was going, and Tamale wasn't going. If they think they are not making profit on the Tamale route, they should cancel it. We are already used to traveling by route. So right now, we have come. Fortunately for them, the first people who came very early, because they were told to come around 6, they have gone. The second flight that is supposed to go is still waiting. They should have left around 10:30, and they are asked to wait for another 1 hour 30 minutes. So because of that, we are also supposed to wait for another 1 hour 30 minutes. We should have also left around 11:30, but I believe we'll be leaving around 1, so we are still waiting.
So, Mr. Mohammed, for you too, what has the situation been like for you?
It's terrible. The management has not been on the best side since this issue arose. I think they are over-enjoying the monopoly. So we just pray that a new airline emerges, so that I think they do not have respect, especially for those of us going to the north. Yes, we sat yesterday for close to 5 hours, and nothing was said to us. We had to come to the booking section and then fight our way through before we were told something.
Okay.
Yes, we were rescheduled this morning. Until now, we are still here.
Okay. But one may argue that, rather than putting your lives at risk, it was good they prioritize safety. What is your take on that?
Yes, at least they could have just told us that we can't go to Tamale. So if anything, you return our monies to us. Then we look for an alternative way of going. But you don't keep mute, keep us here. Yesterday, others who didn't have places to stay had to go back and get hotels at their own cost. Okay. A friend slept here yesterday. Yes, and he's still here.
For you, why did you opt for the airplane when we had a bus, though?
Yes, as it is now, the Bupe Yape has not been open yet. But I'm used to going along with the flight. So yes, if the Starbo was there, that would have been an alternative for me.
And for you to say, would you consider perhaps going by a bus? Should you be refunded?
Well, the problem is the route. If the bridge is open, I learned when they get to Bupe, they take tricycles to cross, or is it Yape? I don't want that inconvenience. That is why we are still here. But today, if they are unable to satisfy us, we'll take our monies back and look for other alternatives.
So we are here at the airport, and I'm joined by the Chief Operations Officer in the person of Captain Thompson to tell us what is going on today. Okay, so Captain, how far have we come with preparations to get the passengers on?
Well, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to do all our Tamale flights, scheduled Tamale flights today. We'll try and reaccommodate the passengers on the flights that we are operating. But our main priority is to get the passengers to their destination safely. Safety is our main priority. So if there's anything that we think that is unsafe, we'll have to stop make sure that it becomes safe before we continue.
Okay, so talk of safety. Essentially, yesterday, what was really the problem?
Yes, it was a myriad of problems. We had some issues with the aircraft. We had some issues with refueling in Tamale, and then the weather generally was not that favorable to us as well. So
you couldn't carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it got to a point where it wasn't possible to operate with Tamale at that point in time.
Okay, so today so far, have we been able to get some of these passengers on board already?
I believe we've been able to take a number of them on the first flight to Tamale. We are just about to operate a second flight into Tamale, and then we'll have 2 more flights to operate in Tamale. So we should be able to clear most of them by the end of the day.
You've heard it, folks. It looks like the drama continues today, but then we are still hopeful and expecting that things would get better. We also heard from the Chief Operations Officer of Africa World Airline, in the person of Captain Thompson, who assures that they are doing their possible best to get everybody to their location safely. But it is the Christmas season, and as we can see, there is a number of challenges with our transport system. When it comes to the aviation sector, as we can see, there's only one operator, and this seems to be posing a challenge. According to my passengers that I heard from, they believe that the monopoly is not helping the system. So we are waiting to hear if the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority will be doing more to ensure that we get some flights, more aircrafts coming in to be able to curtail the situation. On the other hand, if you're also there and waiting to travel, well, from some checks I did, Africa World Air seems to be booked, so you have to go with the bus. But just as you heard from my gentleman here, it seems that that will not also come without challenges. For those going to the north, the Bupe situation is posing as a very strong threat and a difficulty for passengers heading that way.
Africa World Airlines feeling the heat, and as you heard Sheila say, they are the only domestic air carrier as we speak. We'll come to that later. But the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has been responding to these recent developments and how it can be dealt with in the long term. Simon Alote is the Director General.
Rather than bringing in charter flights for domestic services, we are rather fast-tracking the certification processes for a number of airlines which have our air carrier license. The air carrier license only confirms that we have accepted your business plan, but you still need to go through a technical certification program to qualify as a approved, certified, fully fledged air transport operator. So there are a number of them, about 4 or 5 are going through certification, and we will fast track the process to enable them come online. Starbo is reorganizing these operations. We're going to engage them proactively to see what assistance we can give them as a regulatory agency to enable them come on stream very quickly.
All right, so let's put all of this into perspective. As we're indicating, Africa World Airlines is the only domestic carrier at the moment, and there's been a lot of pressure on them since Starbo was suspended. And now there are concerns that Africa World Airlines may not be able to deal with the numbers. So let's put all of that into perspective in this report.
Africa World Airlines was under some sort of pressure even when Starbo was operating. This is because most passengers prefer to fly with Africa World Airline because of the perceived safety issues with Starbo. It was even difficult to get a flight with the airline if you had not booked ahead. Most of the time, Africa World Air was booked. Analysts say the situation may now be even worse after Starbo decided to ground its fleet because of an accident at the Kotoka International Airport. Attempts to even book a flight from Accra to Kumasi yesterday was difficult, as checks show that most of their flight for the holiday season was sold out. So is the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority looking at granting some emergency license for some of these charter flights to come in and help manage the traffic? Simon Alote is the Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority.
Rather than bringing in charter flights for domestic services, we are rather fast-tracking the certification processes for a number of airlines which have our air carrier license. The air carrier license only confirms that we have accepted your business plan, but you still need to go through a technical certification program to qualify as a approved, certified, fully fledged air transport operator. So there are a number of them, about 4 or 5 are going through certification, and we will fast track the process to enable them come online. Starbo is reorganizing these operations. We're going to engage them proactively to see what assistance we can give them as a regulatory agency to enable them come on stream very quickly.
Well, if you are thinking about traveling by air this festive season, maybe you would have to start making alternate plans of going by private car or even the commercial bus. Even with that, you cannot be assured of a hassle-free journey.
All right, let's turn our attention to some other news. Let's look at power issues as we enter into 2018, and the shutdown of the FPSO will not affect power supply in 2018. This is according to the Minister of Power, Boakye Agyarko, who tells Joy Business that a well-established electricity market by the government will play a huge role in power generation in 2018. He was speaking at the sidelines of the launch of the Electricity Market Oversight Panel Committee. There's more in this report.
The committee constitutes members of the various sectors in the electricity value chain. According to the Power Minister Boakye Agyarko, the 11-member committee is tasked with the duty of supervising the administration and operation of the wholesale electricity market, which determines price transactions on hydropower.
A well-thought-through electricity market structure with a corresponding division of roles and responsibilities between entities is key in ensuring orderly and structured growth of the power sector based on sound, efficient, and competitive principles.
Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Dr. Alfred K. Fosu-Ahenkra, tells Joy Business the new committee will prioritize on best ways of attracting investment to Ghana's energy sector.
In every market, the basis of every market thriving is competition. Consumers want affordable, reliable electricity, and sellers also are interested in making profit. So when you meet in the market, then you are selling, I'm buying, and you see how we can all cooperate to make the market thrive. We have been in a system where electricity generators come and quote prices. It's passed through by PURC. Nobody has an option of opting out, but the market is allowing consumers to opt out of the PURC and negotiate directly.
Some members of the 11-member committee include Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Dr. Alfred K. Fosu-Ahenkra, Chief Executive of GRIDCO, among others.
Well, it has emerged Ghana is making multi-million-dollar contributions to cultivation of onions in neighboring West African countries from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Nigeria. The product has flooded the Ghanaian market. While improved production is necessary, Ghana's ability to sustain production and to feed the entire population remains in doubt. Lab FM's Kwesi Deborah explores the work of an artist in relation to sub-regional cooperation.
My name is Farouk Arbo Jabri.
My name is Mohamed Ghazali.
And we have 4 types of onion. We have onion from Niger, we have onion from Burkina, and we have onion from Ghana, and we have onion from Agadas. In Niger, we have 2 types of onion. We have the Galami, and we have the Agadas. In Burkina, we have 1 type of onion, which is called the local name of that onion is called Kudugu. Everybody knows that we have Kudugu in Burkina, and we have our local onion here in Boku, and we have a local onion here in Kumasi. and the surrounding areas of the southern south.
The Nigerian own is bigger in sizes as compared to our local one here, and the Nigerian own is also sweeter.
A research conducted in 2010 and 2011 in two markets in Kumasi and Accra suggests $120 million worth of onions were imported into the country. That means Ghanaians prefer locally grown onions to the imported ones.
Like, seriously?
Hey, though the figure is yet to be updated, it's believed it could increase many times. The impact of this is tons of onions are transported by road daily along the West African corridors to markets in Accra and Kumasi. Abiba Mohammed sells onions in a longer market. She would only stock the imported ones.
They like the Niger ones. They say the Ghana one is hard on the eyes and time consuming.
It was reported in 2012 the country loses $5 million annually from onion imported from Niger alone. There are therefore calls for Ghana to have more plantations to step local production in order to save foreign exchange. Despite the problems, Jabril and Ghazali believes it's impossible to depend on our onions.
The southern type, we normally plant it around June, July. That's the rainy season in the southern in the southern area. We planted at that time, and by now it has finished. So we now left with the local ones. The local ones will start from December, January up to February. The local one also start. That's the season we also used to plant harvest the local one into the country.
An artist is therefore extending the argument by collecting Charlie from major markets in the country. Charlie is an interwoven basket used to cover the top of the sack containing farm produce before it is transported. Inspired by the design and labor of the designers of the Charlie, she believes Ghana and her neighbors should find ways of cushioning each other's economy.
So the idea of weaving goes beyond just the objects, then weaving of spaces, weaving of countries, transportation, thoughts, narratives, what actually strike them to do such an object. Bringing them to my space, metaphorically bring their presence because the object is present in my space.
That peaceful interdependence and coexistence will see to the sub-region's growth.
My name is Teresa Nkoma, and this installation is my work titled Crafting Craft Identities.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
Now, providing change for conductors, commonly known as mates and passengers at bus stops, used to be the domain of men. However, in recent times, women are seen to be involved in this type of business. Just as traders set up to display their wares to sell, so do these money changers.
Money changers seem to be thriving at various bus stations as demand for this service by conductors increases. At various points, one would find a setup for denominations on tabletops to be sold as change for higher amounts. Agnes Entry is one of such women involved in the money changing business. She comes in very early in order to conduct her business at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. With virtually non-existent jobs, she was pushed to sell coins. I have been in this business for 3 years. I start as early as 5 a.m. I go to pure water sellers and yogurt sellers for the coins. When I exhaust all the coins, I close at 4 p.m. in order to go look for more. The physically challenged is not left out. Catherine Kwashi joined as a new entrant. It's her second week in the business. She was trained as a dressmaker, but resorted to this business in order to support her children since she wasn't making enough money.
I've
been sewing for 11 years now, but these days, customers come up with a lot of excuses. I'm in great need and physically challenged, but I can't be begging. My brother is into pure water business, so he introduced me to this business since he thought it was lucrative. We changed 90 pesos for 1 cedi. When you give 2 cedis, we give you 1 cedi 80 pesos. And when you give 5 cedis, we give you 4 cedi 50 pesos. I asked and it was explained to me.
In the area of security, these women rely on God's protection against thieves.
I have faith in God that He will send angels to stop anyone from taking my money.
Joshua, who is a bus conductor at the Nkrumah Circle bus stop, patronizes the services of money changers. He agrees that the services of money changers come in handy as they provide the needed support.
They help us a lot. I know a guy who gives you 2 cedi in addition when you buy 20 cedi worth of coins, so I usually buy from him.
Changing coins for notes at various bus stations has become an actual business venture. Whether this is regulated or not, these women go about their business freely as they provide relief for conductors who need change for commuters.
Will still remain in town, and the use of firecrackers during the Yuletide every year is a source of good business for vendors. Dealers are making gains and are cashing in on the season. There's more in this report.
Christmas is here again, and shoppers are going about buying the things they'll need for this Christmas. But one of the things that is likely to catch your eyes in this market are these beautiful long sticks. Firecrackers they are called. But what are the issues surrounding this? We'll find out more.
Over the years, firecrackers have formed part of the Christmas and especially the New Year. As a result, dealers capitalize on to rake in some good profits.
It has been almost like 20 years now in the business, and the business is quite okay. There are at times that customers will boom in, like 10 or 15 customers will come in for the firecrackers. At times too, it will be more than 15 or 20 people.
That was a firecracker vendor Muritala Suleiman, who will not want to appear on TV. During this time of the year, firecrackers and night fireworks are signs that the Yuletide is close. Mr. Suleiman explains the variation in prices of fireworks.
We have Roman candles. Normally the shoot, we call it Roman candles. We have 100 Ghana, we have 50, we have 40, we have 20. That's what we have.
Which one do people normally go in for?
You know, normally people go in for, they come in for 21.
Well, I caught up with those students after school hours, and surprisingly, they have made some preparations to purchase firecrackers for their celebration.
Yeah, I have expectations for knockouts. Probably I'll buy some knockouts, some decorations and other stuffs.
It's like a tradition in Ghana when it's Christmas. Normally, one of the things that make it more entertaining is the firecrackers.
Other people, however, are apathetic towards the firecracker craze.
There'll be purchase for sure, there'll be purchase, but I don't see much of we guys like upcoming, they're doing purchases. It's really changed. You know, most of the guys are really concerned about a little more of get together and stuff rather than lighting up firecrackers.
Oh, it's not good. So I'm not going to buy it for anyone to play.
It would be fun to play, but then for safety's sake, I think we should stay away from it because it scares other people and then it's not good for our own sake, security's sake.
Firecracker traders say they are really cashing in on the Yuletide. Children can't wait to spend the little savings they make on firecrackers. So the question is the ban on firecrackers living up to expectation? For Joy Business, John Fafali Kofi.
All right, time to bring you our interview of the day. And the National Insurance Commission is pledging commitment to strengthen micro-insurance in 2018. That's according to the Commissioner, Justice Yao Ofori, who has been speaking to Joy Business's Bismarck Awusa.
Intend to actually reinforce that effort next year by actually concentrating more on micro-insurance and agric insurance, because we think a lot of our population, about 80% of our population relies on agriculture, but they don't know much about agric insurance. And this product, we have it on our market. Micro-insurance for the low-income people, buying premium as low as 1 cedi, 20 pesos or 10 pesos a month. I mean, I think we can't complain. We'll get there.
Yeah. So I said finally, but this is finally. Talking about agric insurance, you've said this, I think this is about the third time you're talking about agric insurance, but have you considered the vagaries of the weather?
Yeah, the experts in agric insurance, they have considered all these things, and these are the reasons why you need agric insurance. The unpredictability of the weather calls for some kind of protection, and that is when you need agric insurance. So I think the farmers out there should now be thinking of the agric insurance. We have an agric pool currently on our market providing agric insurance, and we believe that if they actually consider buying into agric insurance, they have nothing to lose.
And that's it for Business Live. Thanks for watching and happy holidays.